Hello YouTubers, this is Trainman122 and I am here in Garry's mod today. I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I get my trains to go at high speeds on these super elevated curves that you might find on a map like GM Sunset Gulch. It's actually fairly easy if you know what you're doing, and I'm gonna actually explain a little bit of it today. Right now what I've brought out for demonstration is my F40PH Amtrak. Now, the only part of this that is actually mine is the skin, in which it's, I painted it using a special kind of Expression 2 chip that allows us to visually clip the locomotive multiple times, paint it up, and make it look however we want. And it takes a little bit of coding knowledge, but I managed it. And the rest I just applied. These are all models. Everything else you see is models, with the exception of the Amtrak logo there. That's another E2. The lights up, the numbers up there on the number boards at the top of there, those are also E2s. I mean, it's a fairly simple build. Ignore this. This, as far as I know, never existed in real life. I just wanted to have some fun with this and built a B unit for an F40PH. I really don't think this ever existed, but come on, doesn't that look kind of cool? A little bit? You can see the crease right down the middle. That's where I cut it in half. That's an E2 thing. That's let me actually show you. You can actually see where the physical model is. See, that's where the window is, right up there, and that's where the nose is, and the rest of what you're seeing doesn't exist. So it's a neat little trick, and I've learned quite a bit about how to use it, but that's not really what we're here to talk about today. Today we are talking about how I get my trains to go high speed. So it's a bit of a controversial way, because it involves a lot of what's called constraints. It's where you have to attach these wheels via ball and socket, welding, or any other type of constraint that requires, two objects to be stuck together. I use ball and socket and welding, and this means each bogie has 3 constraints. Let's start by just explaining this here. Let me get some colors out here and do that. Up there. So right here and right here, it's maybe a little bit hard to tell, but I have put in S-prop. This is the S-prop mob. Wheels. Train wheels, the small ones. The smallest ones have really deep flanges. That little light gray bit right there is the bottom of the wheel. The flange starts there and ends there. It is really deep. Deeper than most of the other wheels that I've seen in that pack. So with the depth that it reaches, it really hugs into these tracks. So that is one thing that we start off with. These are welded to the main bogie here. The main bogie here is there for detail. It is actually no collided with the world. And it also serves as the constraint to the actual base model, which I will show you now. So the constraint is ball and socket advanced, ball and socket center. Using a very specific type of setting in the ball and socket center, I can make the bogie go up, I can make the bogie go down, and I can also control how far left and right it goes. See, that's as far left as it'll go. Yes, I know, you don't like me. And this is as far right as it'll go. I still need to no collide a few things, but that's besides the point. That's what it does. This going up and down allows it to go on these really steep pitched grades that are on this map. you know, going up and down in almost just a few feet is really kind of hard for some locomotives that are welded. So you can really keep the speed. And the deep flanges here help keep it inside the rails. Now, the other part that is really important about all this is the weight. I don't really keep everything at its base weight. I want to say the body may be original. I believe 15,000 is the original weight of the F40PH model that I used. Then the bogie itself is 30,000, and the wheel set, the little wheel in the middle there, is 20,000, as well as this one is 20,000 as well. Oh, there it is, 20,000. There we go. And of course the back one here is the same, that one here is the same, that one here is the same. Now the issue with that is constraints cause problems on servers. Things like lag, things like frame rate drop, they tend to have that effect. What I try and do is I try to minimize how many other constrained objects I have on the locomotive, meaning there's no other constraints on here. These three should be the only ones. So this should have a total constraint count of 6. I'm still trying to work out some of the bugs. I may have missed a couple of welds here and there. But yeah, the interior's not too pretty. That's a refrigerator. So I'm still working on it, really. But till then, it does its job. It gets the work done. And it speeds along very nicely. I even have some train cars to go with it, but not for showing right now. So that's how I do it. I just do this to every single train car. And honestly, it works. So that's about that for today. It's a very short tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Until then, I have something else I'm working on. It's a very, 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 very big project. Does this give it away yet?